Hello, beautiful Simmers. Today we're going over the Sims 4 Horse Ranch expansion pack build buy items. I'll be giving you my thoughts on these items throughout this video. This pack retails for $39.99 USD. However, every few months the EA app does offer sales where you can purchase this pack for $19.99 USD. If you do decide to purchase this expansion pack, you can use a creator code. While it doesn't give you a discount, it is a way to support your favorite creators in that it gives them a small commission. Let's get into it. Okay, we've got some beds here. We're starting off with a single bed, and then we've got another single bed as well. You see there are some cute pony swatches. And then we have a third single bed. I was really surprised that we had yet another single bed. We've got a lot of beds in this expansion pack, you guys. I do like some of the swatches there. You can see some of them are more Aztec. This one here looks like it's got some quilting, and of course the cowhide headboard. And yeah, I went through those a little bit more than I should have because I kind of lost track. Now, I do like that this pack does come with a bunk bed. Of course, you get the bunk bed that is just your plain bunk bed without anything underneath, and then you get the one with the desk, and obviously you can separate that as well, which we'll be seeing that later on. And then you get your standard bunk bed, you know, bunk on top and a bunk on the bottom. And then we do have ladders on either side, so that is nice. We've got some hay here. And then this pack does also come with some sleeping bags. We only get 4 swatches of sleeping bags, which I thought was kind of You know, I feel like there should have been a lot more. I do like how this chair basically has a sheet draped over it. And then we have this wooden rocking chair with a pillow on it. I love the added detail of the pillow. Although, I do wish that we could separate and add our own pillows to them. I think that would be a great idea. Got a little, I want to say, ottoman type deal. And then we have a comfy chair, although it doesn't look like it reclines. As if it did recline, as if the Sims would be able to use it anyways. Here we have a chair, a dining chair it looks to be. And then we've got another chair. You can use this as a more formal dining chair. And then we've got a bar stool. It's just kind of interesting. Look at how skinny that is compared to the chairs. It just, isn't that, it just, what? What is going on? Then we have a couch that matches the comfy chair that we've seen earlier. And then we have a bench here, which I think goes lovely with this pack. It is kind of interesting that they added the pillows here, but I do think that that was a lovely touch. We've got a standard bench. This would be for outdoors, you know. Both of those benches could be for outdoors. Then we've got a log. Oh, this would be nice around the fireplace to sit at. I mean, not very comfy, but you know. Looks like we got a little side table there. And then, okay, this is more like an ottoman. So we've got that. I do like some of the Aztec swatches that we just seen there. And then we do get new cupboards and counters, whatever you want to call them. And I'll kind of show you guys the different, we're going through the swatches obviously, but what I like to do is show you, as you can see, the end pieces, the corner pieces, just so you can get an idea of what each piece looks like. And yes, you can store items in that one that we just saw. I love that. I absolutely love that. Then here we have like the bar stool type table, whatever you want to call that. Look at that. There's drawers on the outer corners. Oh, I love it. And then we've got the outer edge, and you know, we're just going in with all the little pieces that we've got there. And of course you can put stuff, clutter items in that one as well. So I think that's really cool. We've got the matching cupboard up for the top, and that's pretty cool too. I noticed in some packs, whether it be, I think maybe game packs, that sometimes we'll get countertops without the cupboards up top, you know? Like, what? That drives me crazy because then we don't have the matching ones. Anyways, we've got some dish spots there, so that's pretty cool. I mean, I appreciate the, I want to say diverse range. I don't know what exactly how I would word that, but yeah, I do think that's nice. And then we've got a table. Look at the runner on there. I think that's a nice added touch. And of course, we've got another table as well. This one kind of reminds me of the stuff that we've seen from Eco Lifestyle. And of course, you get, this is more like a, I don't know what you call it, like a side table that you put by the front of your door or whatever. You know what I'm trying to say? Then we have a side table for like between your couches or by your bed, whatever. And then here we have another side table. This one is square, the other one is round. And then we have just another table. Another table, yep, of course we do. Again, this pack is very much about that wooden theme. It goes well. I mean, this is the ranch pack. Now this is pretty cool. I do like that item there. And this would be a desk, I believe. As you can see the little drawers there. I think that's a nice added touch. We do have another desk. And there's some more rustic swatches, which I do love. You can make one seem more like antique or something. And this was kind of interesting to me. I'm not really quite sure how I feel about that. This looks like it's stuff to hang up your clothing items, so maybe we'll see some clothes after a bit. Now this is another one of those dressers, but this is a larger size. Not sure why we get two different sizes, but we do. I don't know. Now we do get a new bathroom cabinet, which is nice, and you can see it's stored with a bunch of different towels, which was kind of interesting because they're all towels on every shelf, just folded differently. I don't know. Here we have another spot to hang up clothing items, and you can see the little storage boxes on top. And then of course we've got this shelf with a shovel and whatnot to do your outdoor chores. And then we have another shelf with a cowboy hat, cowgirl hat, whatever. And I do think those are really nice touches. I do love that. Oh gosh, I forgot what these are called. I just had it in my head, but it looks like where you put the nice china or whatever. We do get some plates here, which is pretty cool, so I do appreciate that. Alright, we've got some barrels, which makes sense for this pack. We do actually get a sink, and you know, it goes with the theme, very wooded. But at the bottom, you'll notice there's a basket that has a couple of towels in it, which is a nice touch, I think. Then we have a matching shower, and look at those shower curtain swatches. Some of them are kind of fun with the little ponies on them. And then some of them, I don't know. We do have a new bathtub, which is very, it looks like a barrel to me. And I think that that's what they were going for with it. We've only get a few swatches of that. We do get some new dance floors with this pack, and I absolutely love that. I think that that's a great addition to the pack, especially if you're making like a little bar or restaurant type area. It goes with the theme very nicely. You know, you always see in the movies, or maybe you live out in the country. I don't know, because I feel like in real life there isn't as many bar scenes like that as they do to make them out in the movies. But anyways, we've got a piano, which is nice as well. And then we've got barrels for the barrel racing. So that's kind of cool. I tried to give you guys some swatches where you could see both of them, you know. And then We've also got this fence for the horses to jump over. Now, unless you have move objects on, these are going to take up a lot of space. Now, I'm not sure if your horses and Sims can utilize these items if you are using move objects. So that's something to keep in mind of where you place them and what type of lot you can place them on. I'm not quite sure yet. We haven't gone through gameplay with this yet, but eventually we'll get there. Eventually, okay? We've got another barrel here, lots of barrels, which does make sense for this pack, of course. And then we've got some signage. You know, if you want to have like, I would like to see businesses and hobbies do something with this signage, you know. Maybe you could do like little horse rides or horse training, I don't know, something along those lines. Now we've got a little nectar maker, and of course we do have a bar here. I feel like that's just a staple in Sims packs. Like, they always put bars in there. There's one pack, I can't remember which one it was, but it had like so many bars in it. Of course, horses do need toys, right guys? Actually, have you seen those videos of cows and horses and pigs just like playing with toys? It's so cute. We get a fire pit and we get some alfalfa. We do get some outhouses here because those are definitely going to be needed. I do think that that's a nice touch. This is super cute. I actually would like to use this for like a wedding area, that archway. And then we get a this fits with the theme very well. These tin cans with flowers in them, I do think that that is just very cohesive with the theme, and I do like that they're not wooden. We do get some posters here. Of course, I love the desert sky one. And then we get some framed portraits as well. They go with the theme very nicely. We get a new mirror, and you can see there's a little drawer at the bottom, which is a nice touch. We get some curtains here. Now, I don't believe we get all three sizes for different wall heights, which is odd and like a crime for The Sims, I feel like. But we do get some kitchen clutter, and of course some signage for like if you do make a little eatery. And then that right there is actually like a ketchup or whatever, and then some silverware. So that's gonna go great in like a restaurant type setting. And then we've got your sage and whatnot, and then we've got some pottery here, which is very nice. I like that they added those to this pack. And we have some more barrels. You can use these as decorative barrels. I do like that pink swatch, not gonna lie. Then we've got some wine bottles. I feel like somebody on the Sims team really enjoys alcoholic beverages. I don't know. This is kind of interesting to me, like the brooms, the mock buckets and stuff like that. I do think that that was a lovely touch because you're going to need to clean up after horses. Like, that's just, you just are. And we have another barrel because of course we do. So this one is more rustic looking. And then we've got this woven basket here. And then we've got more wine. What did I tell you guys? What did I say? And then we've got like a little buggy type deal, garden thing. I don't know. And we've got, it looks like a bucking bronco. Oh my gosh, I hope that doesn't flag it. I hope that doesn't think that I said a different word. I love this. It's like the sign before you go into a ranch. I think that that is perfect for this pack. This as well. I think that is awesome. I'm very pleased with those. Of course, more barrels. I do like that they stacked these ones up like that. I think that's nice. We do have a trailer, which is great for this pack. Of course, I don't think you can actually utilize it. It's just more there for decoration. But I had to show you guys the other side of the trailer too. And I do think that that's a nice touch though. We've got a pot here. Now, can your Sims actually cook in it? That is the question. We've got some hay, and then we'll see different swatches. And then this is just a cute little rug for like the little kids' room. Oh, or an adult. I don't care. Look at those ponies. They're adorable, you guys. Okay, we've got another rug here. Some designs, and then some are kind of nice Aztec designs. We've got a smaller rug as well, and you can always size these down or up using cheats, but be careful because a lot of times you can't move those around. We've got a wooded stove here, and then we do get a fireplace. Something about this, I've been building with this fireplace, and you can only set really tiny items on the mantle. This is kind of cool. We get a display of hanging pots and pans. And of course we get the bull skull, whatever. And then we get a bunch of these little wall decals of, you see the little lambs, which would be so cute in a little toddler baby room or even a child's room. I think I want to make like a little nursery with these animals. I think that would be cute. One thing I wish they would have added to this would be a little bassinet, crib, and toddler bed. Now, I'm not exactly sure when they decided to implement toddlers and infants. As I've said, I am late to the Sims game. I mean, I've always wanted, I mean, my friend had it and stuff, but you know, we just didn't have the computer that could handle it or anything. And this is free, so the Sims 4. So I did decide to get it, and I feel like I would have been highly disappointed had I gotten the Sims 4 and paid for it and they didn't have infants and toddlers. So yeah, we do get some banners here, and I do love this woven God, I can't even think of my words. But then we get this too. I love that picture there. And of course, this would look kind of cool on the outside of a barn or a house. You know, little decor there. And then we get a box. I wonder if that's supposed to be a toy box. But we also get a spot for the saddles, which is wonderful. I do think that we're thinking more about what to implement in this pack than they may have in other packs. So that's nice. We get another box, and I don't know if this is, I don't know how much of this stuff is actually usable. We get like a trough for hay, which is nice because obviously your horses are going to need to eat, right? And then we get, are these called troughs? Now I can't think too. But we do get that. And then we get a new dollhouse, which of course are ginormous. And the kids don't actually play in them. They just play on the outside of them. But we do get that. And I think that's nice that it's a barn. We also get some lighting here. And a little lantern, which I think works good. It looks like we've got some more sage and candles there. And then we get this lamp up top, overhead light, which is just, I don't know. I feel like they could have done a little bit better there, but it is like an iron type. This one here's got candles on it, and I feel like that one's a little bit better. Now we do have two different heights for that iron, or actually 3 different heights. Wow. But could they have done it on the curtains? Absolutely not. Nope. Not gonna happen. Crazy, right? And we get more heights for the other chandelier, and then we get yet another lantern, or wall light, lantern, whatever you want to call it. Then we get like a radio, an old time radio. So that's cool too. We do get this barbecue, which I think that's kind of cool. A lot of this stuff is older for the packs. Here we do have clothing items, which is great, especially if you want to make like your own little retail store. Now I'm interested to see if these swatches of the clothing items are actually items that we will see in CAS, because I do think that would be super awesome if they are. It would just draw things together, in my opinion. Now we do have another cupboard type stand. This looks like something you could use in the bathroom and put your own clutter objects in. I do like that this mirror is, you know, like a wardrobe. I think that's pretty cool. You could use that in the bathroom as well. And then we do have a regular wardrobe here. I need to know, like, I don't need to know, but I'm just curious if you guys have wardrobes or if you have a closet. I guess it depends on the country that you're in. We do get some trophies here, and instead of swatches, these are just random trophies, big belt buckle type awards. So there's that. And then you'll be seeing we have a little doll, which is cute for the pack. I do like that. And there. Now we're getting into spandrels or columns. My gosh, columns. We do get a few different columns for this pack. This one here is just a cylinder type. And this one I do like because it does match one of the signs that we've got. And then it does have the rocks at the bottom. And I like rocks. They rock. See what I did there? Now we've got the freezes. And I wish you could see these. I haven't figured out how to make it so you guys can view these nicely. You know what I'm trying to say? Without just doing splash it on there. You know what I'm trying to say? I hope you do. But these match the columns nicely. Obviously, they're wooded like everything else we've got going on in this pack. And now we're getting to the outdoor plants. We do get some trees. One looks like a tumbleweed tree, and then we do get some grass, and then we get like a everything bush, you know. And then we get this little horseshoe type deal, and we do get rocks. These are always fun for me to use. You can size them up, size them down. And I wanted to try to zoom in closely so you guys could see the flowers on some of these items. Yeah. So we get that stuff, and then we do get, this is like a little, I think it's categorized under like a waterfall. It's under water objects, but it's a well. And then we get, these are categorized as chimneys. Why they do that, I don't know. It doesn't really look like a chimney to me. This one does, yes. But Santa, can he fit through there? I don't know. Don't know. But we do get this one as well. And I'll be interested to see if we do have roofing that matches those. There's the roof. We just get 2 swatches. That's crazy. Okay, we do get some, oh my gosh, I cannot think of the word. Is that foundation? I can't think of the word. We've got some wallpapers here. Now this one right here looks like it would go great for like a barn. Honestly, that's the vibe I'm getting, like horse stalls. And of course they come in wooden colors, so basic wood colors, I guess, you know, neutral colors. Then we've got these stone walls, which I think are awesome. I think you could do, well, since it's not at the bottom, I was thinking, you know, doing one like a platform or something. You know how houses have the brick at the bottom and then the paneling on top, if that makes any sense whatsoever, but you can't really do that because this is the game. Oh my god, that makes no sense. Does it make sense? No. Anyways, here are some wood paneling wallpaper. And again, we've got those very earthy tones. And then we've got super dark tones here, almost like a black or super dark gray. And we do have a lot more swatches in this specific wallpaper. I'm not sure why in some they give us so many swatches and in others it's like, yeah, good luck. I don't know. But yeah. Then this one would also be great for the outside of a barn. That's what I personally think anyways. Or if you're doing a rags to riches, or if you just want something to look a little more run down or worn, I think this would be a great wallpaper to use. I know that's what I'm going to be using it for, and that's what I am excited for. I've been super into the grunge and the worn down type houses and vibes. Like, I don't know. I'm here for it. Now we've got some more wood paneling, of course. The bottom of this one, though, you do have the baseboards, and they are going horizontally. Again, more of that wood paneling. Now, some of these we do have worn swatches, and some not as much worn, I guess you could say. These next ones here, they almost remind me of a fence or a gate. I'm not sure if that's what they're going for, but it's just kind of weird how we've got that space in between. I'm not really sure. What are you guys thinking about this? Because I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know. But I do like how the board isn't perfectly straight in some of the swatches, you know what I'm saying? Now, this one looks more like a log cabin. I believe this is what this wallpaper is supposed to be. And I think that this will be very good to do that with. I mean, there's certain swatches I see that I will be using if I'm wanting more of a cabin vibe. I should not have put this wall over here, but that's okay. All right, you thought the wood was over with? Oh no, 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 no. We've got more wood paneling here. This one though, we do get a few swatches of a darker gray blue, and then we've got a yellow, a white, and a pink, and then another blue gray, and then we also get a red. Now, I guess this, I can't remember if this is still the same swatch, but there's also a green. I believe it's the same swatch. Now we've got more wood paneling, and this time we've got those same light colors in these vertical swatches. Along with that, they have a horizontal baseboard at the bottom. We're getting into flooring now, and as we go through this, you'll see some swatches that are very similar to one another, but just like a shade or two difference. Now we've got some that look like stone, and then we've got these other ones that almost look like tire marks. If you want to pretend they're tire marks, what I would do is use a terrain tool and then use only certain swatches, like go down, use only a certain part of the grid. That's what I'm trying to say. Then of course we've got wood flooring here, and this one is more of like a used, worn out type of wood, but it's kind of odd to me because you'd think in real life, I don't know, it looks like this is supposed to be sticking out, so it wouldn't quite make sense to walk on. Do you guys feel me? And then we've got these wooden, I guess I can't really say tiles, but these wood floors here. Again, we've got some of this more dirty type looking wood, or more rustic, whatever you want to call it. But I also think that some of these swatches would be great for rags to riches or grunge or whatever, stuff like that. Now, I was not expecting these. I don't get it. What is going on with this? Like, I feel like it doesn't quite fit the theme, I guess. I don't know. I was just not expecting this. I mean, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I think it's awesome. I think it's so cool and different, unique. Oh, well, duh. Maybe it's not exactly supposed to be a flooring. Maybe it's supposed to be a ceiling. Duh. Okay. So if you use it as a ceiling, but then again, we don't really look up at the ceiling, do we? I mean, in real life, but on the game, not so much. So I'd still, use it as a flooring in maybe a kid's room or something, because I still think it's super cool. Now, we do actually get some terrain in this pack, as you can see, because I forgot to take that off. But I had to put that back on because I realized when I was doing the swatches and zoomed out, it looked like something it shouldn't have. And I was like, ooh, gotta fix that. Anyways, we've got some grass patches, and then we've got different Colors of dirt. I like this one right here because it does look like it has rocks in it, so that's pretty cool. We're getting into fences and gates. Now, this is pretty cool because this pack, we do actually have a matching gate that goes perfectly with the fence. Yes, thank you, EA. Love to see it. We'll see if the other gates that we have fences to match or vice versa. Now, we've got these same swatches that match some of those wood paneling swatches, and then you can see the columns that I put up there. Again, these match those wood paneling swatches of the wallpaper that we have. So everything is definitely very cohesive, or maybe recycled onto other items. But I feel like in some sense, it's okay when they recycle like columns to go with the gates, or, you know, like the fences to go with the gates. Obviously, that's what I want. I think that everything looks really nice when we can get it to match, but obviously we don't want everything to be the exact same. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes it gets a little too like this. I think it's fine. And if you really like wood and you're totally into that, then you've got a lot of wood in this pack. I mean, crazy amount. It is horse ranch, so you know it makes sense, but that is definitely something to keep in mind with this pack. And I feel like if you're going to be purchasing it, you already know that, or you're looking for the gameplay or something along those lines. Or maybe you're just looking to expand on your Sims, you know? So, or add some variety. But yes, this definitely seems like it will give you a ranch or a farm feeling. Okay guys, we've got more fencing here and more gates, and guess what? They match. How lovely is that? Again, very wood themed. These are a little bit shorter than the other ones, so the horse could probably jump over it, I feel like. I mean, I think the horses could jump over the prior one too, but I don't know. Do the horses do that? Do they escape? Oh my god, that would be funny. I hope they were, well, yes and no, because it would make for fun gameplay, but if the horses are always running away, then that's gonna kind of suck. But anyways, like I said, we get those same swatches, wood tones, earthy tones, which fits this vibe. Here's some more. Now you'll notice that some of these are just a shade or so different from one another. That's like what we had with the wallpaper. So if you don't like a lot of things to match like that, then you might not like a lot of this stuff that we're seeing here, because it's very repetitive, and it is a lot of wood here. I mean, like I said, it goes with the territory, so you gotta like a lot of wood. All right, gate and fence. This was a little odd to me because this doesn't really match, and I got to thinking maybe I put things together wrong. So I don't know. I mean, obviously, yes, you do need this fence if you have a ranch or a farm, whatever. It goes perfectly with the pack, and I don't know. So I'm going to show you it with that. Again, it's not perfect in color with those fences as well. And this fence right here, well, okay, doesn't have a gate. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, sometimes there's a certain number, and maybe I did this wrong, or maybe this gate actually, or maybe this fence goes with another gate. I always intermix those two words. But I'm also going to show you that gate with one of these fences so you guys can get an idea. And what happened here? I don't know. There we go. Some glitching has been happening, and yeah, we had a fence that wanted to go way up, and or a gate, and yeah, I had to. It's just kind of interesting. I don't quite get how some things match so perfectly, and then we get things where it's just kind of thrown out there. I don't know. I think, yeah, you can probably get away with using, oh my gosh, this fence wherever. Again, we got another glitch going on, whatever. But it just, I don't know. Like here it works because of the colors, but with the other things, the colors are going in order. So I don't know. I did tell you I'd show you with some other fences. This looks close, but not close enough. But it does seem like it goes a lot nicer with this fence, in my opinion. And then we've got this gate, which is huge for this fence. So I don't really know what else it would be. Okay, Simmers, I absolutely love this fence and this gate. This is perfect together. Concrete or whatever you want to call that. I don't know if this is supposed to be concrete or like tin. I have no idea. But anyways, it's a really beautiful fence. We do have the wood paneling, and then you can see where you open it and close it. I think that's a cute little detail. We've got these in the swatches as we do some of our wallpapers, but I don't know. I'm feeling it with this one. It really helps that it's not all just plain wood, I feel like, because it brings it to life having the two different textures there. Or should I say textures? I don't know. I guess. Anyways, you guys get what I'm saying? I think this one is really beautiful, and I'm actually quite excited to use this one in particular, especially not set. I might just use it for like a yard. Yeah. Okay, we've got some stairs, and then we've got our stair railings here. Now, these don't exactly go together. Like, they don't have colors that exactly match. Now, some of them will exactly match, and I can put together some of them for you so you can see how you might be able to use some of these, but some of them, like I said, are just not going to match. Alright, so you can see that, yes, there are some that go very well together, almost like they're made for one another, but then you see some that do not go well at all, and you don't know where their home is. It's just so sad. But you can always use these with base game stairs or other stairs from other packs. Alright guys, it's the same thing with these staircase or these railings. They don't all perfectly match, and we do have some that, yes, are meant to go together. I do like these railings a lot better than the others. That's my personal opinion. Like, this one looks really nice together, and this one does as well. And then you'll notice that we get an extra railing, so I'll have to show you guys that at the very end. Like I said, some of these just go together so nicely, and so I'm not sure why they didn't make the stairs match, or if it's supposed to be like a pop of color. I don't know. So as I said, I'll show you the last swatch here is a dark green. Okay, we got some shutters here, which I think is a nice touch for, you know, a wall decoration, or I guess to put on the outside of the windows, especially for this pack. Of course, they are going to be the same colors, and I would be upset if they weren't, you know. Now, we do have an awning, which it's just in my opinion. Now, we are getting into the windows here, and of course they're wood. You know, at least this one is, but I do think it's nice. I mean, we get two different heights, and I am using a tall wall height, as you can see, just to give you guys an idea. But some of these are super small windows, and others are very large and in charge. Again, we get wooden windows, and this one is a barred window. Yep. I guess maybe for more like a horse stall? I don't know. Now, this one has wood on certain parts of it, but not all. And again, we do get another wooded framed window as well, because of course we do. But you can see the inside of the window is black, which is kind of interesting. Now, we do get shutters on these, which I think would be great for like a barn-esque type home or whatever. These are just very long, tall, skinny windows that I'm not too impressed by. And then we get the crisscross here, and you can see the black on the inside of the window. Do you see what I'm trying to say here? Yeah. As this is an expansion pack, we do get more windows. And this kind of bothers me how the vertical line doesn't line up perfectly on both the bottom and the top windows. Do you see this? It's driving me crazy. Then we got a longer barred window. And then this is kind of interesting, this triangular shaped window. And I do know that in Eco Lifestyle, we do get some random looking windows. Now, I wanted to just go across and show you guys how these windows look. You may want to play it back in slower speed because I feel like that was a little too fast. And I will show you the other side of them. I always think that's nice to get an idea of how they look on the other side. So just keep this in mind as well. Now we're into doors. Your barn doors are open. Ah ha 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 ha. Okay, so I do like that we do get barn doors, obviously. It makes sense, right? But I do think these are done very nicely. They've got the little door handles on them. And I do like this door as well. I think this is really nice. And we've got the windows on either side. And then we've got these barn door type front doors. You can see there's the little lock there. And then we've got these type of doors, which is like a barn door, but a door. I don't know. It was kind of interesting to me. We do get a lot of barn door type doors. You can see the little bar here on this one, which I thought was interesting. We do have some archways here. This is our basic wooden archway. And then of course, more barn doors. I mean, I feel like the lots, we should have like ginormous lots because with these doors, we're gonna need a lot, you know? So I was just showing you that you could see the handle there and there, the little details on the locks. I think those are nice touches as always. I do like that. But I'm just showing you guys the front and the back, and then you can see the handles on both of those, pointing those out. But yeah, we are going over styled rooms, and these are great to look at just to give you an idea of how you can set these objects up, or to give you an idea of what they look like together, to give you a better understanding of how the pack looks. And then we will go over the different colored of styled rooms that we've got. But overall, I think that the items in this pack, I think we got way too many beds for one. And as always, I would like to see toddler items and baby items. And I thought it was weird that we didn't get a new toilet, but instead we just got the outhouse. I do think the outhouse works well for this pack, but you know, I always like getting a whole new bathroom pack. I do think it's a lot of wood going on, obviously, that matches the theme of this pack. But I do think that there were some fun flooring items and like the clouds. I think that was cute, kind of out there. And I do like that we got some nice fences and gates that go great with one another. I am a huge fan of one of those gates and fences. But this is a lot of wood, and if you're not into that type of thing, well, I mean, obviously this is the ranch pack, so it makes sense. But also, if you want the horses, you're just gonna have to accept that this is what it is. I mean, there are some fun colored swatches, like there's more like a pink swatch or something like that that you could use to make it less wooded if you want to do that. And of course you can always use things from other packs or base game, of course, you know, make it unique to you and however you feel like creating, you know, use your creativity. Okay, just do what you want to do. It's your game. But if you guys are enjoying this video and want to see more, then go ahead and like and comment. And also let me know which videos you would like to see a review on or an overview of next in the comments below, and I'll get that out to you sooner. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.